So welcome to the Quantum Creativity Show with Cezarina Santari, and I'm here on Christmas Eve, and I'm delighted and absolutely thrilled that we get together with Santari and with our special guest, Soleira Green, whom we had on the show quite a few times in this past year. And it's just absolutely exciting for me and magical today because we're wrapping up the year. We're just, going to be sharing some amazing, beautiful thoughts for the new year coming, and just be together in that beautiful, pure joy energy of what it meant for us to do this work, to offer this platform, this quantum creative space for all of you. So welcome Santari, welcome Soleira, and I have my Christmas tree behind me, so we're filled with magic today.
Us too.
Great opening. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Better than the Queen's speech. I can listen to you forever. Well, here's my Christmas tree behind me. Not as bright and as festive as perhaps yours, and just have a quick glance at Soleira's, see how Soleira's looks. Oh yes, very, very Christmassy. So what I thought we'd do in this brief wrap-up of 2014 is to do our own personal recap of what 2014's been about for us, to share our thoughts about the highlights of the year, and then to look ahead for 2015, what our predictions might be for that, and what our inspirations are for this forthcoming year for all of the world. So let's just have a quick look at for ourselves about what 2014 has been about. I mean, it's just zoomed by. I can't, recollect a year having gone so fast, and yet here we are on the borderline of 2015, and strangely enough, it doesn't have that sense of 2014 is coming to a completion. It's like 2014 merges effortlessly into 2015, and I wonder why that might be so, and what that is about. So perhaps, Cezarina, you could start us off with, what 2014 has been about for you.
Oh, it's been an incredible, fast-paced roller coaster of lots of fun, events and lots of fun things. But mostly for me, it's been about this huge transformation. I know I say that every year. I mean, every year has been these past 7 years, but so much more. And if I was to put my finger on the pulse of it all, there was a lot of resurgence or emergence, or however I want to say it, of this delight and joy in creation and co-creation with, and my highlight really has been our Tuscany co-creation that we have done, a wonderful trip, a retreat, and playing with the group we had, and so many other things that I've been working on with the children, with the quantum creative energy, with the show, just, different new versions and aspects of my work coming up. And so, like you said, there is a sense, and I hadn't defined it for myself, but there's a sense of nothing is really ending to enter into a new thing, per se. There's not that separate, idea that in the past, oh, goodbye 2014 and welcome 2015. Time has been morphing in ways that, are very subtle, but it's just really that timelessness that settle in more. We can function in it, and we can, still function in the linear time. The creative power we have, it's so much easily to work with, and manifest instantly, manifest your wish, your pure joy, your desire that really comes from that higher place of honoring everything, honoring life at all levels. So all of this, has been part of it for me. And I haven't really thought of all of that before to really give you a deeper reflection and just giving you what comes to me in the moment. That's how we love to flow on this show. But it's beautiful that you posed that right away, that whole idea of, or you brought it in, that there is not a sense of, oh, I'm saying goodbye to something and coming into the new, and I'm excited, and it's all nicely and beautifully being woven together as a whole. And that's a really nice, beautiful, magical way of just bringing it in too.
Mm-hmm. It seems quite different from previous years. So, Sarah, what are your thoughts?
Well, for me, this has been the year, I call it the year of embodiment, because everything that we've been working towards and reaching higher for, and that has all come present, come in, we're embodying it. It's in us, it's in the earth, it's in the universe, it's in the air we breathe. Everything is here now. All the consciousness, all the magic, all the mysteries, all the wonderment of everything. It's just all present. And so for me, I started to write something this morning about two worlds exist side by side. One is logical, stressful, and full of worry and concern and all that. And the other one is this magical reality where you walk in wonder, and the miraculous is just a natural part of your day, and amazing things happen, and people show up, and abundance flows, and genius streams out of your mouth and your fingertips. And for me, that world has become the predominant reality for me and most of my buddies this year. But not even just the people I know and work with. I've had at least 7 new people come to the house in the last month. And of those, 5 of them immediately said, I am a universal being. I am here. I am present. And I was like, yes! It's here! We've landed! So to me, as we end this year, it does seem to be a year of real acknowledgement that we are powerful creators, that we are enchanters of life, you could say. The quantum creativity is really embedded right in us now. It's who we are. We're not daunted by bringing through the new or streaming genius or any of that. And it is the work we're about, I think, for next year, is to then have that be so for everyone, that they can walk in that magical reality and create their lives in the way of wonders that they want to. So that's it for me.
I think for myself too, it's been quite a journey of a year. I've had a lot of physical changes taking place, and previously it was asthma, and then it seemed to go into other things, and quite lately it's been sciatic problems. And I have to ponder and think, well, this is all part of what's changing in me in a physical way. That the things that we've talked about in previous years, how you embody this, how you embody that, this is what it looks like in this fundamental way. And I feel too that it's not really about what I do in the world, in producing articles and producing videos or anything of that nature. It's about how I feel life to be a living presence. And I think this ties in with this thing about continuity, that it isn't now about I complete this body of work, or I write this book and this book is now done. That seems to be of much less importance. This feeling about we are all together, sharing an experience, and the feeling of this experience doesn't have boundaries. Like, it's not my experience as opposed to your experience. Is that there's something that we share together, and we feel that we are not just part of it, but we feel the entirety of it taking place. That energetically you feel very powerful, you feel strong, you feel that life is immeasurably great and wondrous, and that the words don't do justice to that, but that somehow the continuity resides in you, that There are things to happen yet which, way beyond your imagining. And yet you'll take part in them in this very moment and simply accept that that's what's going to be so. That you are an immeasurable experience taking place in this physical way, and that seems to transcend everything else, even the problems that sometimes come up in a physical manner, and you think, oh my gosh, what do I do with this now? And yet somehow you just shrug it off, and you carry on being the boundless. And I think that's an important distinction to make, that somehow, in my view of living life, that it isn't a physical discomfort anymore. It's about acknowledging that changes are taking place at a level which seems to border on the bewildering and the magical simultaneously, and you can choose how to view it. So that for me is pretty well where I'm at the moment. But there's also the continuity of what I'm delighting to do. Instead of writing another book, I seem to be enjoying this Open University degree with more and more amazing, wonderment that I just take a body of work that's an academic body of work, and I look at it from different angles, and I write an assignment which really sums up my feeling about it, which is my expression of something that I previously had no idea about. The Reformation, the Renaissance. They were just words before, and yet now I feel that somehow I get to know what the Renaissance is about. I get to know what the Reformation is about, but I'm expressing it in my way. And I feel quite a great degree of excitement in doing that. So I wonder what things that you're excited at the moment that really you just want to share with us. Perhaps, Cezarina, you'd like to do that first.
It's an incredible time, just like all of you have expressed. It's just, and I don't have to know all the details. I just know that my whole work is expanding with the children, for example, and it's shifting or shape-shifting into exactly what Soleira said. How do we, we're all magical children, but how do we live it? How do we share with everyone that that's a reality, and it's not any longer just, oh, I get together and I do this with these groups of children or share this with parents. It's here for everyone who's being with children, not being with children. Their inner children need to know to be nurtured and nourished and embodied. Everything is connected with that magical child, which really points to me to the source of all things. So if I'm connected to that child inside of me and the magicality and that, in all levels, like you said, Santari, physically, emotionally, energetically and super creatively and all of this, then I know how much I'm plugged into the source and how I'm embodying the source, because it's very much the same thing. The wonder of the child within is the wonder of the universe looking through these eyes. So anyway, so all of that is morphing and shifting and coming forth, for 2015, and I don't have to define it right now. I'm just in wonder of it because it's happening fast. And I'm waiting to hear all the wonderful things that I know the Visionary Network is unfolding. It's always a delight for me to follow that, and Soleira will be speaking to that. So, yeah, here I am, and I'm ready to, to sort of allow that to stream through our interview, Soleira, because I just really, you always delight me with all the news. So it's just this morning, it was early, and I opened my iPad, and here I was, and I saw your picture with, it's been a wonderful year, and the way you signed it with the Soleira and the dragons, and it was purple, and I smiled, and the child in me was, yay, I mean, it didn't take but a second, and here it was, it's, like you said, it's not a lot of, absorbing to do anymore. It's just instant.
Yes.
celebration. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love your playfulness.
Me
It's so,
too.
so delightful.
Beautiful.
So,
Well,
the Visionary Network and Soleira.
well, it's interesting. Cezarina was talking about the children, and one of the things we do consciousness creation calls twice a week with our masterful advanced super players. Just because we love bringing in new consciousness and creating the world and a universe full of that kind of magical reality. So one of the things that's been really predominant in the last couple of weeks is the new wave of the next children coming in. Oh my gosh, Cesarina, wait till you see the ones that are going to get born next year. Oh, I mean, the ones right straight from, the mid 1990s on have been extraordinary. Not that everybody isn't when they're born, but they've been very different, and you can see that in those children. And the younger they are, the more you see it in them. But the ones that are coming in next, this wave, they're coming in almost straight from their own godness. And one of the things we were saying yesterday in the call when we were tuned into it is that they are coming in with the knowing of themselves as universal beings, and nothing will knock it from them. So where in times past, you go to school, you learn other things, you eventually lose that sense of connection till you refine it again as an adult. But this time, no, those kids will be driving the universality of us, the super connection of us, the magical creational power of us in every word they speak, in every breath they take, and they will not lose it. And that's going to just revolutionize everything. Now, I also don't believe we have to wait for those kids to grow up to,
Exactly.
you know,
Exactly.
it's happening to all of us. They're just going to be an immediate and incredible, visualization of that. We're going to see it in them, but it is in us as well. We've been for the last at least 2 years solid, just downloading these waves of new consciousness and the godness within us and the universality of us, and so that now it is a real true thing. And I think that next year what's going to happen, if I can slip into 2015 for a minute, I don't believe our learning systems can continue to be out of date and from the 20th century anymore. I think they're bursting at the seams already. And I think that we have got to next year have learning systems at all levels, straight from little tiny ones, straight through to university, academic, and however we learn in our life, that it has to come from unique genius in everyone, the extraordinary expression of each person's joy and creativity and genius coming through them, that it can no longer be measured by norms and tested by scales. And it has to be completely unleashed. And I think next year's the year it's got to explode out of the box next year. So, and I think the same thing for business, although I think education may lead the way for the business realms. I don't know why I say that. It's just a feeling I have. The business seems to be a little bit harder to let go and move on to that expression of genius, but we are seeing it much more now than we saw 10 years ago. And so I think those two things alone. A friend of ours, Andriana Natter from Australia, nailed it this week when she said that 2015 will be the year of actualization. And I thought, yeah, this is the embodiment year. Next year's the actualization year. We're going to see it real deal throughout the whole world. We're going to see big shifts and changes at long last. Yes.
So I think I can certainly attest to the embodiment piece. I've done my bit there. Thank you very much.
You sure have.
I think also there's a greater sense of universality of people rising to the level of what we're talking about. That it isn't that some people need to awaken or to be there, as if they were somewhere else. No, I think it's like a gradual realization that something is changing and taking place, and we really just have to sense it more and to know how to speak about it and to know how to put it into its its rightful context, rather trying to use some model from the past to talk about what's changing now. I love the what you're saying about the new children, and I feel that whenever I think of children too, there's part of me that just naturally moves energetically to that space of being with children, and in a very nourishing way, in a supporting way. So I feel that even if I um, am not in a classroom, for example, I feel that somehow all the time I'm teaching youngsters, children, how to be in this world and to be the power and the authority of themselves continuously in this way. And my part of the teaching role too is, as you know, I plan at some point in the future to be in a classroom situation, teaching English to foreign language students. But there's something about the wanting to put yourself into that position and to demonstrate effectively and powerfully that this thing that we're talking about, the living force, the power of creation, the sense of godness and sourceness and everlasting joy, it's just something that is. It's not something that's going to land or going to happen in the future. It already has taken place, it is taking place, and there we are. Full stop. And there we just carry on from that point. So as far as I'm concerned, 2015 is already here, and this is what it looks like, and we're going to have more of it. But Cezarina, perhaps you'd like to share your thoughts about 2015 too.
It's pure magic and ease and flow and like you said, playfulness. I mean, I don't have to try to be playful. We are playful. We are, that which we think that we need is already in us, and it only expresses ease with more ease. And that's what I find, that that's what children have always taught me, and my inner child have always taught me. They have taught me that it's okay to just settle in the now, in the moment, look around, whatever is available is the plaything. So you don't have to have, I had started years ago, I would bring in all these props and all these things, and that's okay. But you don't have to anymore. It's we contain all the playthings, our abilities, our gifts, our skills, those are the tools, the magic tools in our toolbox. And all we need is to show up, and the dynamic of that newness is just already engaged, and it's been like this whole year for me. But I'm looking forward to a much more expanded version of it that I'm allowing. And it's all, again, it's all the question of how much more of it can I take and express, because it's there in a big supply. It's always there, but how much more can I allow myself to express and enjoy with them or the world around me, without any more refraining or restraint or whatever, or the thought, or taking and accepting any thought of, what they're gonna think, this is way out there or way weird, or none of that matters any longer. There's not a check, almost like a sense of, I've got to check in with myself, turn it down, go up on the scale. None of that, it's in place anymore. That gauging quality, it's gone. I mean, for me anyway.
Me too.
So it's I guess this role that I've played of Santa over the past few years of dispensing gifts and consciousness, and energetically, etc. Okay, there's 7 billion Santas now in the world. So it's how much were we prepared to give of ourselves, I think, is almost like a question of the past. I think it's a revelation that there are beings in this world now who are walking this world with us with tremendous power and presence. And knowing that they are these beings that have been talked about in the past, and that it's a very it's a here thing. It's, you know, it's a now thing. And I think that perhaps is the greatest gift that we could wish for the world. That this is all taking place in our lifetime, this very moment. And what more I think really needs to be said. But anyway, well, everything that we've said, I think we'll just put out onto the YouTube video, and for other people to enjoy and to add their comments to and their sentiments to. And we wish the world a magnificent 2015, whatever form it takes, and however we want it to be, it's going to unfold quite magnificently. So I think here we go.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays,
Happy Christmas, Happy New Year.
From all of us here at the Quantum Creativity Show, that's it for now. We'll join you in 2015 and see how that year is. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye for now.
Bye.